Friends, I am Kamlesh Kumar, your SST teacher, USCD DAV Public School, Maharajganj. Here we are going to start the first chapter of Civics Class 8, that is our Constitution. So let us begin here the chapter our Constitution. Before we go into detail of the chapter, first we will try to define the term the Constitution. Constitution is the document of the basic principles and fundamental laws of nation, state or social group. The Constitution determines the powers and duties of the government and guarantees certain rights to the citizens of that particular nation or state or social group. It means that it is a document in which the basic principles, laws are included, and with the help of these laws, these principles, the government works and the social groups are binded together. So why we are going to study this chapter? So first let us decide the objectives of this chapter. Here the first objective is to prepare aware and responsible citizens. By taking a note or by studying this chapter, all of you will be a responsible, aware citizens in the coming days. And the second principal objective is to know the basic features of our Constitution. So the first question about this chapter is why we need a Constitution. What is the need of Constitution? Why we required it? The requirement of the Constitution, why it is needed. So all of we know that India is the land of diversities. It is the land where diversities in every sphere of life exist. There are physical diversities, there are cultural diversities, there are diversities on the basis of regions, there are various religious communities lives in India. And if in such cases, if there will be not a common law, not a common document for the people, then there will be some social disturbances, there will be clashes among the communities, various religious communities will clash with each other, and it will be difficult to run the country. So the first need of the Constitution is to run the country smoothly and to maintain social harmony in the country. So this is the need of the Constitution, why Constitution is needed. Now let us talk about the historical background of the Indian Constitution. All of we know and we have studied in the previous classes that India remained in the hands of Britishers for a long time. Britishers ruled over India for more than 300 years, and in that period we struggled to get or to attain the independence, and finally we attained our independence on 15th August 1947. At the culmination of the national movement after 1940s, the Indian National Congress and the Indians strongly demanded to the British Empire that Indians should be given an opportunity to frame their constitution, and finally Britishers given opportunity to the Indian people to frame their own constitution. And after many struggle, with the approval of the cabinet mission, the Constituent Assembly was formed in 1946 by the election. And after 1946, when the Constituent Assembly was formed, finally the document or final document of our Constitution got prepared on 26 November 1949, and the Constituent Assembly finally adopted this Constitution on 26 November 1949. On this particular day, every year we celebrate on 26th November we celebrate the Constitution Day. So it was finally implemented on 26 January 1950, and after that India became a republic. So this is the brief history of the Indian Constitution. So the Constitution of India start with its preamble. Here the term is preamble. So first let us know that what is a preamble. Preamble is actually the introduction of the Constitution. What are the principles in the Constitution? What are the philosophies in the Constitution? Or we can say that it is the brief summary of the entire Constitution. And this preamble start with the word "We the people of India," means we the people of India, the Indian Constituent Assembly or the framers of the Constitution prepared the Constitution in the name of the people of India, and it has been devoted to the whole it has been devoted to the people of the country. Now let us move forward, and that the next topic is basic features of our Constitution. So first feature of the Constitution is unique Constitution. The Constitution of India is unique Constitution. Why? Because the best features of many existing constitutions have been incorporated or adopted in the Constitution of India. Actually, at the time of framing the Constitution, the framers of the Constitution borrowed many best things from the various countries like America, France, Ireland, USSR. From these countries, various things has been taken, and it has been incorporated in the Constitution of India. So it makes the Constitution of India a unique constitution. The second feature of the Constitution is the lengthiest Constitution. This is the one of the lengthiest constitution of the world, that is the Indian Constitution. At the time it was adopted, there were 22 parts, 395 articles and 12 schedules in the Indian Constitution, and now it holds 24 parts, 450 articles, more than 450 articles and 12 schedules. Let us clarify here. Actually, these 395 articles were there in original Constitution. Till now, these 395 articles are intact. This number has not been changed, but by several amendments, some sub articles had been included in the existing articles, and it makes numbers 450. So this is the second feature of the Indian Constitution. The third feature is written Constitution. The Indian Constitution is written Constitution, and we know that the Britain has not a written Constitution. It has not been documented. Indian Constitution has been documented. Now the fourth feature of the Indian Constitution is rigid and flexible. Rigid and flexible means that some of the provisions cannot be changed, and some of the provisions can be changed with the changing situations. When the Constitution was framed, the circumstances in India at that time, contemporary time, were different, and today the things are different. So some of the provisions cannot be amended, which makes the Constitution rigid, and some of the provisions of the Constitution can be amended, and this makes Indian Constitution a flexible constitution. So in the matter of flexibility, there are procedures for amendment of the constitution, and there are three types of three procedures to amend the constitution, provisions of the constitution. First is by simple majority, second is by a special majority, and third is by a special majority with ratification. Let us discuss here the simple majority. Simple majority means that what is the strength of the House, Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, if the particular bill is produced or introduced in the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, in that particular house, in the matter of that strength of the house, total members, it is not necessary that the full strength is required to vote for that particular bill. Suppose the strength of Lok Sabha is 543, it not means that 543 members is required to cast their vote for that particular bill. If 350 members are present and out of this 350 members, more than half members raise their hands in the support of the bill will be passed in that house, and likewise it will be the case in the Rajya Sabha also. The second is by a special majority. A special majority is of two kinds: a special majority or absolute majority of total membership, and the second one is 2/3 majority of members present and voting. Let us clarify it. Absolute majority of total membership. Absolute majority of total membership means, suppose a bill has to be introduced in the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. The strength of the Lok Sabha is 543. In the case of absolute majority of total membership, all the members have to present in the Lok Sabha at the time of voting, and more than half of that strength should be in the support of that bill. Then it is called the absolute majority of total members. The second one is 2/3 majority of members present and voting, means 75%, at least 75%, not less than that. At least 75% members should be present at the time of voting, and more than half of that present members should be in the support of that particular bill. Then the bill will be passed in the house. So this is the special majority, and most of the provisions of the Indian Constitution are amended by this method. The third and the last procedures to amend the Constitution is a special majority and ratification. So let us clarify this. Some of the provisions in the Constitution of India are of federal nature. Means if such provisions are to be amended, then in that case, after separately passing from the Lok Sabha as well as from the Rajya Sabha, the bill has to be approved by more than half of the states. Suppose the total number of states is 28, means half of this is 14 and more than half is 15. So at least 15 states should approve that bill. Then that type of amendment is called a special majority and with ratification. So these are the three procedures of amendment: simple majority, a special majority, and a special majority with ratification. Now this is the part of this feature, rigid and flexible. So the fourth point is over. Now let us move to the fifth feature of the Indian Constitution, that is parliamentary form of government. So in parliamentary form of government, there is close relation